I showed earlier in the show a double and a single-handed chest press. The best thing you can do, we're talking about the ultimate way to balance muscles and work all the muscle groups at one time. All right, in this compound movement, we're standing up, we're activating our core. The greatest thing you can do when you're trying to work for balance, and this goes back to when Arnold Schwarzenegger, I mean, this is old stuff, this is nothing new, is work in both directions. So if I'm doing a chest press, especially in a cable day, I'm always going to flip it around and do a pulley motion. And to be honest with you, as I've gotten older, I do pulley motions first because all of us spend too much time pushing. We all grew up trying to see how much we could bench press, and we got imbalanced. So now I always start my workouts with chest and back. I'm doing back first, even though the exercises are back to back. So what happens on this, I started with a double-handed chest cable press. So I'm going to start with a double-handed cable row. That's all it is. This is just a cable row. Standing up. It's a lot easier on your back than a bent over traditional dumbbell row or barbell row. You can turn your hands like I'm doing. You can keep them up, which works more up in the upper back and the shoulders. This works a little bit lower. All by just change your handles. Well, something about the great thing about a functional trainer, just by simple changes, I can change the way that muscles work and the exercise feels. Some people, again, have shoulder problems, and an overhand grip will bother their shoulders, but a neutral grip feels great. So that's why this is such an important piece of equipment. Now, that would have been supersetted. That exercise would have been supersetted with a two-handed cable press that we showed earlier. If you're doing single arms, what you do is you do the single arm, you immediately turn around and do a single arm row. Okay? And again, this is usually the way you do it. Keep your butt close, but you can pull high, and it works a little bit more rear deltoid, a little more up into the trapezius muscles. Okay? So that's two exercises that can be done in a compound situation that does two things. It does a lot more than two things. You're working basically all the muscles of the shoulder girdle, front delt, rear delt. You're working your lats, you're working your chest. It's a big calorie burner too when you superset them like that. Plus, because we're using this type of equipment, we've activated all the core muscles through the whole time. When you get through with this kind of workout, you don't need crunches or old news. We don't do crunches anymore. You don't need to do crunches. We'll show some real cool ab exercises later. But most of us that have done this for this long we've kind of evolved past crunches and sit-ups. If you're training correctly, you're not going to need to do that. You can get all you want out of your regular routine. But like I said, that's for another segment, another time. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.